When I was 6 years old, I didn't mind the rainy days, staying at home, but I have all the time watching my favorite shows with a crayon in my hand. The moment it made contact with paper, I knew I was in my own little world again. As a kid, drawing to my heart's content made me feel safe. It was one of the few things I had control of. I'd proudly show my parents an awfully drawn picture of our family, the three of us, with the biggest smiles on our faces. Praises would then follow as if I painted the next Mona Lisa. Creating art made people around me happy. It made me happy. Who are you? Someone would ask. I am the world's greatest artist, I'd say, full of conviction and certainty. What would a child as naive as I was would know?
At 9, art grew close to me. It became my safe space, my comfort zone. Art became a friend when I had no one to turn to. Seeing hues of colors and mixing them to create a totally new one were enough consolation for me, as it reminded me that I can create a new reality on days when I wanted to escape mine. But when they told me that I wouldn't get far holding on to the one thing that I am sure of, it disheartened me. They said, art is good, but maybe if you'd learn science instead of painting, you'd get better grades and that you would land on a much better job. So when people would ask, who are you? I'd crumble my art and say, I'm a straight A student, because I was taught that good grades would earn you an applause, but your passion wouldn't.
When I turned 14, my life started turning upside down. I never thought the world was this vast. There were problems this big, and I was this clueless. What part of my memories were true then? What part of what I believed in was under false pretenses? As the rose-colored glasses were taken off, I started seeing the world in a different light. I was now being torn apart by the people that were once the ones holding me together. My family was breaking apart, and for the first time in my life, I lost a person so dear to me, and so very unexpectedly. Life was not all butterflies and rainbows after all. So this is reality. What about the dreams I built with and for them, if all that I knew was this shallow? It was even taking a toll on my academics. I was confused and discouraged. So when people would ask me, who are you? I really don't know what to say, because even I started asking myself the very same thing too.
When I turned 16 and entered senior high school, everything was totally different. I was in a new environment. I met new people, each with different personalities, and I found myself doing things I didn't really want to with people I didn't really know, just so I could feel myself fitting in. My peers asked me to try new things, to be a different person, so I did. Every day was the same old routine: go to school, show them who they wanted to see, and go home drained. I always thought peer pressure was overrated, that they gave it too much credit because really, how bad could it get? But soon enough, I didn't even recognize myself when I looked in the mirror, and all I saw was someone who I didn't want to be. My confidence crumbled, and I was left in the dust, blindly searching for myself. Who would have thought that it had only gotten worse from when I was 14? My self-esteem was lower than ever. If only I could go back to being that sweet kid who saw the world filled with rainbows and butterflies. So when people would ask me, who are you? I am more alone than ever.
At 18, I attended school far from home in hopes to discover who I truly am, away from the walls of my comfort zone and away from the expectations of the people that matter to me. I wanted to challenge myself, and I thought being alone in an unfamiliar city would be just the thing I need. And so I went on my life at the university where I met new people. Living in the absence of peer pressure and expectations, was nothing less than absolute liberation. Until I saw people who were masters of their own crafts, while there I was with nothing to put on the table. Perhaps this was exactly why my family pushed me to excel in all the things that I tried to do before. Because there will always be people who are far better than me out there. I got slapped in the face by reality, and I could not look back up. To have my dreams crushed by other people felt discouraging. But to have these dreams be invalidated by my own incompetence shattered all the hope I had left. I couldn't be the artist I've always dreamed to be as a child, nor could I ever reach my parents' expectations. I didn't know who I was anymore, but I knew I will be someone eventually, because I just took a leap of faith in this new city, and life has just started for me. So when people would ask, "Who are you?" I'd pause and smile. Because for the first time in 18 years, I realized that I was never obligated to answer, and so I didn't. At the back of my mind, however, I knew I am yet to realize my fullest potential, and at my own pace and time, I'd finally be able to say who I am.